Welcome all to season 9, episode uno.
Wow. Season 9, 4 years later.
Yeah.
Not quite.
Almost 4 years. I'm trying to find that really cool, nice. Oh wait, I sent it to you guys, so I can find my sent easier. There it is. The nice review we had. We had a really nice review. But before I get to that, a couple quick announcements. First of all, I owe you guys an apology, but not really. Because I'm sorry, not sorry. It's whatever. So I know both the Cosme reads and the Will reads, as far as the podcast episodes, and also I guess the YouTube has kind of been slacking. I have not released an episode in weeks now. The reason being is because I'm in the midst of a job change. Actually, I already changed jobs, but it's been a lot on the personal schedule and time. And I just have been putting a lot of stuff on the back burner. But it's a transitional period of life. I'm coming out of it now. I'm almost done editing our last episode to put on the podcast. So it should have come out. I'm not going to give promises, dare to, but something like that. But yeah, we're still going strong. We're starting this book now. And then next week, of course, I am on vacation again. So yeah, we might not have an episode next week either. Because I told my wife,
Hey, it is what it is.
I would no longer try to record episodes on vacation because trying to find rooms to do that in when we have a bunch of kids, and it's not fair to everybody else. And yeah,
and it's a hard break from the fun everybody's having.
Yeah,
and I was on vacation last week,
it's hard.
and so it kind of worked out that you were busy with work stuff because as I was trying to put it together, I was just looking around at everybody having a good time. My kids are there, everything, and I'm like, no, I can't.
Yeah, and like last year, I recorded at because this is a trip we do. It's not with my family; it's with like a group of friends, and like we all bring our kids, and it's all friends. So like it's the three couples, us and two other couples that go, and trying to break away to go record on a random Tuesday night when everybody's out, like the kids are in bed, everybody's drinking, having fun. And I got to go record an episode. It's just not. Yeah, it's tough.
Those moments are important. That's fair.
It's hard. So I'm gonna be drunk and I'm gonna have fun, and we're gonna be at a lake. And my friend just bought 2 jet skis,
so nothing could go wrong.
You'll make it home safe, maybe.
It was really funny because in Virginia you have to have a boater's license to operate a jet ski, and he bought the 2 jet skis for him and his wife. And we're having dinner last Friday, and I look around the room and I was like, Chris, you realize, not you, Chris, but the other guy's name's Chris too. So Chris, you realize that me and you are the only 2 people out of all 6 adults that are going that actually have boater's licenses. So thank you for buying me a jet ski for the week. And and all the girls go, wait, what? And I was like, yeah, you got to take the test and you want to ride it.
Yeah.
Because where we're going is going to be one of those places that is patrolled.
They're checking. Yep.
Yeah, we're going to Lake Anna. Like that's like
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's still a little crowded this time of year. They're going to be out there looking.
Yeah, I mean, this is like the weekend before
Labor
Day.
That's not too hard to get, though. The online test isn't horribly difficult, and the course you got to go through isn't.
Oh no, it's not hard. It just takes time,
right? And a little money. The government got to get their money. It's like $30.
No, you get the free one. There's a free one.
Is there?
Yeah, you go US.
Oh, gotcha.
The free one. Yeah. You said the free one takes longer. So like the ones you pay for, you can skip through the slides. The Boat US one, it's timed, so you actually have to read, or actually you don't have to read it, but you have to
hit play and wait.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah,
that's free.
I'd rather just meet him at a marina, put a laser in, and go zip across and back, and then just be like, oh, okay, you actually know how to boat. Yeah, like for real.
I keep hearing voter's license. No, it's boater.
Oh yeah, boater.
Better.
I'm on a boat.
I'm on a boat. So yeah, and that whole thing was created just for jet skis too. So I mean
which is not a bad idea. Like Alan, you know this. We always called them water roaches. I'm not super paranoid about boat safety, but I respect the water. I respect the weather. I really don't drink and operate a boat because a lot of bad stuff can happen. But jet skiers, I mean, dudes will be. It's like. I got qualified for a loan. Let me get this jet ski that goes 90 miles an hour in the water and have no idea what I'm doing.
Has no idea any of the laws on the water or anything like that. Like jet skis are always the ones you have to
problems.
Yeah, you have to worry about them. Like as a sailor, whenever you see jet skis, you just try to avoid them because you're like they
go the other way.
They don't know what they're doing. They're gonna break all the laws, and it's just.
Or they think it's cool to zip up next to you and then turn real hard, but then they realize when they let off the throttle, they actually can't maneuver anymore. And then they just hit you. And that has happened to me twice.
Yes.
And I've seen somebody hit Alan's pier once doing that very maneuver.
Yes. Yes. Anyways.
With that,
yeah. I'm trying to think anything else going on. Cosmic Reads. We did Wild of Fortune last weekend. If you did check it out, it was a lot of fun. It was the last playoffs. We're working on times for the finals. That'll be in September. Of course, the new Wheel of Time episodes. New season drops next Friday. Not this Friday, but next Friday. And
next Friday.
But most importantly,
Ahsoka's like
Today-
just went live
thank
16
you.
minutes ago. 16 minutes ago.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
Which
when we went live, we
I
went live.
almost canceled
Yeah,
because
I
of
almost
that.
did too.
But I was like, can't do 2 weeks in a row. I do love this show. I don't want you to think I don't. But
I'm gonna try to watch it tonight.
y'all know
but
that's
I've been
my girl.
But I've been getting up early, like so. I've been
I
doing
don't think Chanel's realized that it's out yet. I do have thank you, Zul. That door flew open, didn't it? For no reason.
I thought it was a cat or something. I was waiting for the cat to pounce.
No, Oscar has gotten to be quite the big boy.
Mhm.
And he opens
Okay.
doors like open
Yeah.
this shit. Like, who told you can close the door of my house? Like that's his
Just opens it and walks by. He's like, I want doors open.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He didn't even
In case
come
I
in. He just
decide I
opens
wanna go
them
in
and
there.
keeps moving. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
But yeah, so
He's like the stepdad in the house. Why this door
Hey,
shut?
Chanel,
What you doing in there?
did you realize Ahsoka Tano came out tonight? Star Wars.
what? What's your name, Tony?
Yeah, did you know?
Don't
Don't you bring my mother?
What's
came out
your
to-
name?
nice.
That's her favorite character too. She knows more about it than I do. Which isn't hard.
Other announcements. Last night I was on the Will and Chill show with Critter on YouTube. So
Pretty cool.
go check that out. It is minor spoiler. I spoiled a lot of stuff. Sorry guys. I was being spoilery because I was having fun with it. But yeah. That was, I think that's it for announcements. Cosmic Read stuff, going strong. We're in second book, Will of Ascension. No new patrons, but I do want to dedicate this episode to a review that someone gave us, which is like one of the most sweetest reviews. All I know is your name was Michelle, and you wrote just, I forwarded to Ian and Chris this message that you did, but it was just amazing. Saying that, I'm attempting to read through for a second time now. I put it, I guess she didn't make it the first time trying to read through the book, but then found our podcast. And as a parent of young kids, it just had this whole entire thing. Just think that our dedication is admirable. Yeah, it just was a great,
Oh,
it's a great little,
It was
This
touching.
episode's for you, Michelle.
No, this is
Yeah.
for you. We love you.
Thank you.
This one's for you. This one's for you. If you're this far in.
We try when we're sober and we get lucky when we're drunk.
Yeah, this is Alan's third night in a row on YouTube Live. It is, and this is also why you're not getting new episodes.
Right.
Because I keep getting invited to things and I can't do anything
Overbooked.
else. Well, that and I think I'm about to mention I started this whole thing. I'm waking up at 4:30 in the morning to go to the gym before the kids wake up and be home and showered before the kids get up. So that's also cutting into any late night editing because I'm tired, guys.
Yeah, that'll catch up to you.
Alondo, my co-host on the Cosmic Reads, he's motivating me now because he gets up every morning at 4:30 and he like brags about it on our stream. And I'm like, man, I'm lazy. Okay, I need to do something. Yeah.
I used to be me. That's no longer me. I'm trying to get back to it. I've dialed back to 6 o'clock in the morning. I don't get up and do anything, but I wake up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's part of the battle.
Yeah.
Remember
So
the first part of this, I never slept. Well, like 12 to 5.
let me see if I can pull up a picture of. Nope, that's not it. Do you guys have a copy of the book? You don't, do you, Chris?
Chanel has the copy of our book.
Okay. I was trying to
Do
find.
I need to go get it? I can go steal it from her. She's not reading
No,
it.
The
I was
cover?
just
Hold on. Let me
the
grab
cover.
mine.
Yeah,
Will you
I was
do
going to do the cover. Oh wait, I found it. Boop, boop, boop. Boop,
Here you go.
there it is. Let me share
While
my
he's
screen.
looking for that,
It's a new episode, so we got to do a cover review.
Yeah, but I was gonna say, like, so in the past couple weeks, my nephew has started college. I forgot to mention that to Alan earlier, but my nephew is now off to Norfolk State. He's in his second day of school, so
There
that's
we
pretty
go.
cool.
There we
Ian,
go.
you're late.
Yeah, you're too late. So there's our.
I didn't get it for y'all. I got it for me.
Okay, well let's zoom in a little bit so you can see this now in all its glory. We
That's what she said.
we have like it's Perrin and some
There's a ton
IEL.
of people following.
A ton of people following Perrin with the axe. You see the axe there?
IEL.
And you have the
We
Banner
have
Manethrin. I don't know. Do you have Rand? I don't think it's Rand. I think it's Aes Sedai
Oh, is it?
cloak. Yeah.
I
In
guess.
an older war. Maybe Varen?
What's the
Green? No, it's
staff,
green.
though?
Green. I don't
What's
know.
that staff?
I don't
And
know.
then you got
That's
reindeer
Elayne.
in the background.
That's Elayne.
That's Elayne? Okay.
Okay,
Isn't that a
yes, that
sun on the
makes
top of the staff?
Yeah.
Could
Yeah,
be.
but it's a lion. That's the Vandor. But anyway. And you have Aiel,
that's
Bait,
right.
and Shiad are traveling with them. Yeah.
And then just a couple of folks following him.
Yeah, a couple of folks following.
a
Yeah,
couple
In the
bajillion
snow.
folks in the
Because
snow.
winter is coming.
Yeah. So
Winter
that's
is
our.
here.
So it's a very wintry cover. That's not Elayne. Who is it, Zul? Is it Aes Sedai? Is it a random person?
No,
Do you
not
know
like
who
our
it is?
Elaine. I meant
Thing
Elaine
away.
from Seinfeld.
Ah,
difference.
yeah, huge difference. So far, I like Parent in small
No soup for
doses.
you. Looks like Canada in the summer. Oh, it's a spoiler. We haven't met
Oh,
this
it's a
person
spoiler.
yet.
Okay, that makes sense. Anyways,
So Chanel is like chapter 20 in the book because she took a hiatus. She's like, I'm gonna stop reading for a little while. But now
Mhm.
that I'm here, she started picking it back up.
Mhm.
And she's like, I can tell you this because it's not spoiling anything. I'm like, what? Shit is going down. I'm like, what? She's like, hardcore going down. And
I've heard people
stuff
say
that-
this is a fun one.
yeah,
She's like, stuff that we prophesied on, it's happening. I'm like, what stuff? She's like,
Were we right or wrong? Both.
she's like, I won't tell you. I can't. I'm like, you realize that it'll be January before we get to chapter 20.
Right, the
no.
good stuff.
Well, it depends on how many weeks we take off between that.
Look,
It'll be January before we get to chapter 20.
on the
Let's
note of
see,
what we
we'll-
talked
we'll
about
be-
earlier, so
Be
there's
December,
the summer
or
vacation.
October.
There's a summer vacation where we've taken breaks, but just so y'all know, like stuff on or around holidays, I can tell you right now, if I've got my kids, I'm not going to be on.
Yeah,
And that's my notice to you, Alan. That's kind of a commitment I made. My time with them is few and far between already.
sure.
I'm
That's fine.
just not doing that anymore. Love you
sense.
guys. But
Yeah.
That's okay.
Can you
We
adopt
might be
me?
with you.
Like you and your
Yeah.
kids?
Yeah.
yeah.
Give me cool toys. I like Nerf guns. And my mom never let me have any.
We
Yeah.
got plenty.
Let's talk about that. Growing up as a kid, I was not allowed Nerf guns. It doesn't help that we had a cap gun that looked like a real gun. I took it to school and threatened a kid with it, but that was
Ah.
kindergarten. I had anger issues.
Yeah. I was taught to shoot real guns from a very young age. We also did not have toy guns. Toy guns were not
Yeah.
allowed.
Guns were a really big deal in high school because of all the Columbine stuff, and I just still remember vividly, like
Yeah.
me trying to get a hall pass from Mr. Benz and him refusing, and I'm like, I just want to go to my locker, and he's like, well, what's in your locker? I was like, don't worry about it. And I think it was Jack Jackson's like, it's not like he has a gun. The whole class like, like
No,
it's crazy, and
it
like
got super
very
serial.
like the next week, Mr. Benz comes in and he brought a Nerf gun to show something. It was physics class. And he says, I have a Nerf gun. He's like, he said gun. The whole room starts panicking, screaming. Like, it's
Yeah, a little dramatic. Might have fallen on the floor screaming.
Wait, nigga, y'all are from downtown Newport News. Like, guns happen all day, every day. Shut up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was pretty
I mean,
bad.
we knew people that had them.
Yeah.
Yeah, had them on their person while they were in that class.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I was more worried about the ones with the razor blades. That
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Watch out
never
for them,
fun.
too.
It's always the women too, in their
Yeah.
little lipstick canisters and stuff. Just
I saw
Yeah.
somebody get cracked with a stapler once, and
Mm.
I shouldn't laugh at it, but that shit was hilarious.
I saw some guy get
You could hear it
stabbed.
go chunk as it went
I
across.
saw
their
some
face.
guy stab his brother over breakfast money. Not even lunch money. Like his breakfast was like a buck
$1.
25.
No, I think it was under $1 in our
I
day.
think it was
Yeah,
under
like
$1,
89
75 cents.
Yeah,
That was change.
And stabbed his brother over breakfast money. Man.
I mean,
They got biscuits and gravy today.
principle.
If it was
Privileges
hard boiled
anyway.
egg and
That-
nutrition
we
loaf,
do
I might
have-
have let it slide.
We have a book to talk about at some point.
We do.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
let's jump right in. We got a big prologue. It is quite a long
That's
prologue.
what
Not the
you got.
longest one. Not the
Yeah.
longest one, but it is
In honor of the big prologue, we talked for a long time before we actually got started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you missed the end of Path of Daggers, Ian, because you were at a concert or something like that. So I said you didn't like it, but
It's not that I didn't like it. It's I'm starting to get a feel like the series itself is now taking on the pattern of Jordan's earlier books, where he draws it out and there's a lot of buildup and it wasn't really a cliffhanger, but it was still a build up. Like in each storyline that finished, you weren't totally satisfied, but things were going in a direction where you're like, oh shit.
You know, they say that 80% of women feel that way because they don't actually get anything from the penetrating moments. So,
And here, okay, so
Awkward.
You know what? No.
not awkward.
truthful. Like I listened to it in a podcast the other day from a sex educator.
So, like, there's a bazillion conversations you really ought to have with your significant other or sexual partner, but I mean, that's definitely one of them. Like, most guys, I guess girls just assume we don't care, but most guys that I know and myself, like, want you to
Yeah,
get there
yeah. That's,
every
that's
time,
part of the win.
twice, 3 times if you're wild, like,
Well,
just
I'm a
hold
married
on,
man.
right? So have the conversation and don't hold back in talking about what it might take to get there. And there's nothing wrong with traveling to your local kink store. You don't have to go all out with, the leather suit and whatnot, but there's little things
Yeah,
that can enhance.
like a long prologue.
Waxing is the best.
Yes.
or a very
Alan's
long,
fucking killing it
a
tonight.
very long prologue will do that for you. It'll get you right in the mood.
It doesn't have to be that long. I mean, as long as it's girthy.
No, I mean, but the prologue. I'm talking about a long prologue. A
Oh.
long prologue will do
Yes,
it.
right. And don't rush in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although sometimes,
Jordan knew
also
what he
that
was doing.
depends on the situation and the mood.
Okay.
Have the conversation.
So we're
So-
at the White Tower.
So yeah, we're at the White Tower.
We're playing with the rod.
Playing with the rod. Yeah, so we're in Cien's
Right in the heart of
point view.
Tarvalon, just
Right
riding
in
it.
the heart. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, a few hours
Y'all
since
missed this, didn't you? all of our listeners are now logged off.
It's bad that it's been like 2 weeks since we've hung out because now it's all just I haven't been able to be immature in so long.
We went from 30 watchers to 10.
It's happened. It happens. It's all good. So a few hours since they found Elayne refused to take the oath rod. So we're still down there in the depths of the tower. And yeah,
She's
this is how we
the
start.
rod.
Yeah, they have the rod. They're basically all at this point they
So
confirm.
We started where we finished the last go around, which
Mhm.
is we clearly have a dark friend
Mhm.
and a black Aja. Let's be very specific because we have a lot of believers or disbelievers still currently in that room who are like, yeah, we know you're searching out black Aja, but there's no such thing, but we'll still help you because we think this is crazy and we want to get this over with. And they're like, all right, everybody retake the oaths. And this woman's like, but about that,
Yeah,
I'm not doing that. I'm leaving.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah,
it's
apparently
like,
she tried to stab someone trying to get out.
yeah,
Yeah. No, she's it wasn't just like I'm leaving. I'm like she's
I'm
like,
leaving. Like I'm
yeah.
done with this conversation. Like I gotta run, like for real. And so I'm glad we're here finally. Nine books. Is this book
Mhm.
9? I'm so lost right now. 9 books in, and finally we have this like ultimate clarity. Like we have the confession
Mhm.
under oath because eventually she gets tortured enough. Like literally, they are.
No, they throw her into like dream, right?
Well, yeah, they're
into-
like. Well, that's what I'm saying. I call it torture because for me it seems
Yeah.
like torture. They all seem to be tortured by it, so I don't know how they're really doing this weave and how they're really interacting with her. But they're like,
Mhm.
yeah, she's on her way. The chair of remorse is what it was. So they're
Right,
using
yeah.
it for Angriel.
So it
And
wasn't, but somebody had to weave to make it work.
yeah.
and I also like the person that was weaving kind of felt connected for me for some reason. I don't know why,
Yeah,
but
they struggled to keep that false reality happening.
yeah.
Yeah.
But so there's like visions of Trolloc and her about to enter a Trolloc pot, and
Mhm.
she was really just getting beat down and crushed because she wouldn't submit to just the simplest thing, which is saying the 4 oaths at this point, not 3, but 4.
Right. Well, when
So-
she wakes up this time, they threaten her again, and she goes ahead and takes the oaths.
and all the while you got somebody on the outside of the door listening in, like, holy cow, what are they doing in there?
Yep.
Yeah. So I'm
Mhm.
I was gonna say I'm torn here. I've mentioned before, you really you can't trust information that's given under that kind of extreme duress. Like torture that you see in the movies doesn't work when somebody's really holding back, because eventually everybody has a breaking point, and that breaking point is they will say whatever it takes to make it stop. But then on the other hand, what is my confidence in this chair that they're using in the weave? And then what is my confidence in, all right, first, undoing all of your oaths and then taking the new oaths? Well, I still don't trust the 3 oaths. I've been saying that almost since the beginning of this series. So, anyways, I don't think the magic system and the oath rod and the chair, and I don't think it's all enough for me to have confidence in it. I still feel like she's Black Aja, but also the torture thing makes me go,
I mean, I feel like with the
wanna-
addition of this new oath, maybe we're there. Maybe we've found a way to ensure.
yeah, it's
that
pretty
things-
strong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
So I still hesitate.
yeah, I agree with you. It's hard to think that they work when literally they took the 3 oaths before and they didn't work.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm
They
just
were
saying
black
when you
there.
break somebody, that doesn't mean the truth is coming out. When you
Yeah.
break somebody, you've put them in a position that they're going to say whatever it takes, whatever they think you want to hear.
Yep. Yeah.
So
Yeah. And in fact, she even tells them that Elayne's Black Aja, and they don't believe that at all. Which I had a question. I guess we've seen enough behind the scenes there. Well, like, what do you guys think?
well, she's definitely influenced by if she's not directly.
Well, we
Yeah.
know her. We know her. We know
Right.
her first or whatever. Her
The second in charge,
the second charge.
keeper
Now-
of the
Keeper of the Chronicles. Thank you.
Chronicles.
Wow, my brain just went.
I almost said
like-
scrolls.
Yeah, Keeper of the Chronicles. Yeah. So we know she's Black Aja. So and
Right.
controlling her.
Right.
But nobody else realizes that.
No one
I
else
mean,
knows that.
And she manipulates the heck out of it. I mean, by the end of this, everybody thinks Elayne herself could be a Black Aja.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right,
They
they
also,
finally get it-
yeah, they also talk about how how the oaths work, and you can lie if you think the lie's the truth.
Correct. And that
It's
was
all
the
about-
whole perception. Yes, I'll finish your statement.
That's
But
But there are people. So this is where I go back to the torture thing, right? There are people, definitely those that are stuck in fight or flight, that the truth is not like what we normally define it as, like your perspective and how you see things and how you hear things and what you think reality is. For some people, the truth becomes first they focus on the outcome, and then the truth is whatever it takes to get there. If that makes any sense.
I boo.
Mm-hmm.
There's always that one person. Anyway,
so and it is. So yeah, and then they try to decide what to do with her after the fact. And they I guess they quiz her too about like where's the rest of the Black Aja? Where do you have your meetings? Like, we don't have meetings. Like, that's not how this works. Like, no one knows who anyone else is. So it's definitely dead end, I think, because they realize even asking her that, and she has to be telling the truth, she doesn't know anything else. Yeah. And then they switch back to the whole rebels thing. They're trying to bring the rebels in as well. And that's how we end this little scene. Any other thoughts from that, Ian?
personally, I do realize there's a lot packed into that. I mean, we now have guaranteed evidence that there is a Black Aja, and they have for sure infiltrated, which, though we as the reader have known this for books, like now the witches of Tarvalon know, if we want to call them that, or we can just say the Aes Sedai now know that they have been infiltrated. And I'm interested to see how long they keep it from Elayne, B, how well they keep it from Elayne, and C, how Elayne reacts if she finds out before she's deposed, because I feel like that's coming soon too. Like,
Okay.
this book is giving me hope that maybe, our last book gave me some hope that maybe Egwene and Elayne and Nynaeve are gonna do their thing, and we're gonna have a reunited White Tower sooner rather than later.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe even in this book.
Okay.
Probably not, but
Okay. Cool. so, so then we switch to Elaine's point of view. Anything from all this?
Do you
before
like
we switch?
Moraine back this go around?
Who?
Does Matt come back?
Who?
Moraine.
Who?
Give me something. Does Moraine
Moraine?
come back? Like,
Dude, that was what book was that when she died?
I don't remember.
Book into book 5. We're on book 9.
Has it been that long?
Yeah, it's been that long. In fact,
We haven't
I'll
even heard
give-
from
I'll-
Loyal in like 3 books.
so she died on I think it
did
was
die.
on May 3rd, 2022. So like a year and a half ago, dude. Like
It feels like it was just yesterday.
it feels like it was yesterday.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, a year and a half ago.
What about Matt? Matt's coming
What if-
back though.
What about Matt? Matt who?
Matt's gonna get married this book. Like Matt's gonna be the next one to
Okay.
lock it up.
Yeah.
Well, actually, that's not true. Somebody locks it up in like 2 scenes, but
Mm.
I can't wait
Okay.
to get there. That was interesting.
Well, before we get there, we're in Elayne. She's waiting for Nynaeve and Van Dien. And she's annoyed that they're late, but not surprised because Nynaeve's super busy. The kin and everybody, and
And then her man dragon.
yeah. And Van Dien's consumed with finding her sister's killer. Because we ended the last book with,
Her
With-
crying.
mm-hmm. Yeah.
That, first off, I wonder how often it happens that you and your sister are both Aes Sedai. Like, is it genetic? We haven't really talked about the origins of the power and how it's passed along, have we?
They hint to it, I think, in the book.
Maybe I need to go back. There's some
They hint to it like that they've called. I mean, I think we talked about that books and books ago, like how they've the reason why the towers so less in numbers at this point is because they're killing off men, and there is some
That
genetic
can-
component. Yeah,
Yeah.
that can they're only getting half the genetic, and it's making channelers less and less.
Yeah.
But then we find out that no, it's just you guys are being stingy. And there's actually channels everywhere, and they don't know about it.
Correct. So that's why I'm like, okay, so where
Yeah.
are we getting this power from? But then, what was I gonna say? I don't remember the other thing I was gonna say.
Okay. Yeah. So waiting for Nynaeve and Van Dien. Yeah, you're worried about the genetics of that, but yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We know that
Go ahead.
she's literally trying to determine like how she's gonna build her army.
Yes. Yeah.
What's
She
the numbers
ran-
game?
Mm-hmm.
It is,
Um,
but I kind of agree with the conversation that was having back and forth with Dylan. Like, you can
Mhm.
have the numbers, but if you don't have actual committed people, then the numbers are only going to go as far as the money's going to go, which is still a numbers thing. But
And we've seen that all throughout history, and we've even seen this some in the books with Rand. Not that Rand's paying mercenaries, but there needs to be real loyalty,
Mm-hmm.
or at least a certain degree of it.
yeah,
Right.
So,
Yeah.
but she's doing the best she can. She can't do this with this type of opposition and be way outnumbered. You
agreed.
can't, even if it's really kind of a bluff, and even if they're not going to be that well trained or that loyal, you have to be able to, when you sit down in the conversations, have them from a position of power.
Yeah.
True, very true.
When she talks about how she has a bunch that are loyal to her, but it would take until spring for them to show up anyways.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah. Elaine's in a really interesting spot here. I mean, obviously she's the heir, but she's not. She's been gone for so long that there's definitely a power vacuum, and it's not as clear cut as she would have liked it to be. In politicking with Dylan and all this stuff like that, you see a lot of this here. She's trying to, like obviously build up her army, a bunch of other stuff, trying to do this role as the new queen. But yeah, Lots of
And
going on.
I think kind of smartly as she's counting the numbers of people in opposition or challengers, she
Mhm.
even counts Dylan and says it in
Yeah.
front of her.
Yep.
Possibly one I'm not aware of. And if that's the case, that's okay. Letting her know, look, I'm happy to have your support here, but I'm not dumb. I still have my eye on you.
Yeah.
How this stuff works.
Mhm.
At the very least, just to be able to see what kind of reaction she would get, that's something I would do. That's something I'd say.
Yeah.
So, I liked it.
And while they're having this talk, they're interrupted by Renala. I can't say these names. Renale, Zaida, and Morella, who come in and Elayne immediately is like, "I don't have to talk to you. I'll talk to you later." And they're like, "The bargain."
You will talk to me
You
now,
will talk
woman.
to us. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, it seems like you're trying to dodge us. No, I'm not trying to dodge you. No, you're not trying to dodge her. Are you trying to dodge me? Like they're one-upping each other the whole time. I thought that part was just hilarious myself.
I like how, they are strict with all the formalities and showing respect and this, that, and the other, but the one thing that can trump that is the bargain. And I think if they didn't think the bargain was at risk or not being followed, I think they would have followed all the proper protocols and how they would talk to Elayne and everything. But because that was the conversation and they didn't feel like the bargain was being adhered to, nothing else mattered. That's paramount.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Anyways, gives you a little insight to the way they think.
Yeah, and then Elayne suggests they go to Tyr to see if folk can gather there instead, but they decline. They're like, "Yeah, why don't you just go to Tyr instead? Like, get out of here."
Nah, we want to talk to Rand anyways.
Yeah, we'll talk to Rand. So we'll stick around till Rand shows up.
Out there.
Yeah,
there's also a bargain on that side. We got to hash out.
Yeah, exactly. And they kind of go back and forth. I don't have any more notes really about this, but before Rian comes in about the arrival of Mazrim Taim. But is there anything else that we've missed from this?
No, the tying part is really why we're here.
Yeah, definitely.
I think that's the heart of the prologue. But
yeah,
plenty of good stuff. But this is my favorite.
Yeah. So
And-
Rian, go ahead.
Sorry, I know we always jump around. I'll say this before we dig deep into it. Taim is becoming what Nynaeve was to me early in these books. I can't stand him. Actually, I like him. I can't stand him. Actually, I like him. And it's not the reasons you would think. It's probably all the horrible reasons that I go, respect.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure how I feel about Taim at this point myself either. Like,
I hate you, but goddamn, I respect you.
he's like,
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
think
gonna
that's the
look.
line. That's
I'm
it.
not gonna look, but I'm gonna peek.
Yeah. But I'm not letting anybody else look because
But I'm not letting anybody else look because it's for
honor.
me to see and honor. And but greasy, slimy.
Yep.
So so Rian comes in, says Mazrim Taim's here, and Elaine's pretty much giving instructions about he'll have to wait outside, get the third best wine for him, and he just walks right in. Without even
He's like, nah. So
nah.
now it's twice that she's just been walked in on. She's doing a great job as a queen, by the way.
Yeah. So she immediately sees his sidearm, and the others do too.
As everybody.
But Taim just goes like, "Nah, come on, really? Are you gonna do this right now?"
Well, one of his guys flares up too.
Yeah,
and it's
he does.
Taim
There's
that kind
10
of
of
settles
you
it.
and 3 of us. We're outnumbering you.
Yeah.
Like, that's how it felt.
Yeah.
Yep. Wait, wasn't
Um,
his comment to his people more like, "Well, there's only this many Aes Sedai"? Are you really worried?
Yeah, exactly. That's
Like,
what I
chill
mean.
out.
just chill
I
out.
mean,
yeah.
consider that battle
us,
our people
like-
were just fighting against the Shan-Chan, right?
Yeah.
Like, no
Yeah.
biggie. This is
That's what I meant by there's 3 of you and 10 of us, you're outnumbered. Like,
right in that direction.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
completely.
they start doing little backhanded insults, kind of like this. I would say compliments, but they're not even. They're just these little tiny insults. Elayne calls him
Elayne
master.
definitely, right.
But then,
definitely.
but he answers back with Mistress Elayne, like in response.
Yeah.
Ooh. Listen, little girl.
She's like, you know what? But I am. I'm not queen yet.
Yeah.
Like, she took that one with stride. I like the attitude that she gave back with that one. She's like, I'll
Yeah.
take that. It is what it is.
That's fair.
I'll be
for,
that.
for now. But you ought to pay attention to the direction things are heading. Oh, by the way, You don't get to speak on behalf of Rand to me. If that motherfucker Rand has some shit to say to me, he can come talk to me because I got shit to say to him too.
My mama
Go
said.
my mama told me to. My Dragon Reborn told me to tell you. Shut your damn motherfucking no nipple having. Oh gosh, Lane said he ain't got no titties. That is exactly how it went down.
That's how
pretty
it went
much.
down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how I heard it, at least.
Still haven't seen that clip. Just know I didn't make any of that up.
None of it.
Yeah.
It's not original.
Yeah,
But
it
it's funny.
has like these little insults, like he tells her he has a gift for her, the throne or whatever, and he's like, Andor's not a conquered nation, like I don't know what you're talking about. This is still our nation. It's never conquered.
Yeah.
And he just kind of his mouth actually quirks at that.
Yeah.
He lets some emotion slip here and there, but not like normal people. It's in you have to be paying attention, and it's in these weird, awkward smiles and grins. So hard to read. But this is also where she digs into him about the hey, I hear you're not letting our people inspect your place and in your place. That's not going to fly because
you're
where
building a
you're at
wall.
is
4 miles.
in Andor. So
you're still
it's
inside
going to
my
happen.
borders. Yeah.
She's like, as a matter of fact, you're going to be subject to my law. You're going to have weekly visits, if not daily. It'll be by me and others that I choose. You'll let us in, no questions asked. And if not, we'll block you off. And yes, I know you can travel to get food, but that would be a huge waste of resources and not what the dragon wants. So test me.
Yeah.
Because I got the dragon in a different way.
Yeah.
But then he also shoots back with a response that lets her know that he knows what she knows, that he knows what she knows. And he specifically calls out something like, oh, yeah, I guess we'd have to go outside of 10 miles, from where you are. And in her mind, she's like, dang, does he actually know like that's only as far as my power and influence can stretch right now? Which, come on, not a coincidence. He does. So there is this very witty tit for tat between these two. And
if she were smart, she'd get on his good side, and then he'd help her rein in the rest.
I think it goes back to what Alan said. I hate you, but gosh darn it, I respect you. I feel like that's the tone you need to take with Taim, no matter who you are. Like, dude's powerful, dude's smart, knows a lot, pays attention to a lot, reads the room better than anybody else, can channel like a mofo, has taught a lot of people to channel, has a lot of people loyal to him that can channel. You got to respect that.
Oh, yeah.
You can still hate him. We got to respect that.
Yeah. And while she's going through all this and in the middle of negotiating with Taim, Nadir comes in and says, it's time for your first sister ceremony, which Dylan's taken aback by this. Like, you're doing what? Like, some Aiel custom? You're the queen of Andor. Like, you don't, like, she is so, like, I feel like the entire time her jaw just gets further and further to the floor, like, with all the comments with Taim.
Yeah, be careful having your mouth open with a ceremony like this coming around.
True.
Just want to pick that jaw up.
Yeah. And she's like, right now, it's like, the ceremony doesn't wait for anybody. Is this not that important to you? Is there something more important than this, Elayne, than your first sister? Elaine's like, no.
Yeah.
And she's like, all right. And she starts stripping right there. And Taim orders the Ashman to turn around. And then, he's,
He sneaks a peek. He gets a little creeper on her.
All the women huddle around her, being a little human wall for her changing. But at the end of the day, she's still got to walk out of there pretty much.
Yeah.
Booty butt naked. So
yeah. And she even asked her, like, did you do the same thing to Avienda? And it's like, that's for Avienda to tell you. It's not.
None of your damn business.
Y'all work that out.
Yeah, y'all work that out. So yeah, and then they start the ceremony. So they go, they leave, they go to the, the area where the ceremony is going to take place in a different part of the palace.
Doesn't she finish her commands first?
No, she stops.
No, that's right. She does.
Yeah, she
this
stops.
becomes the thing.
I think in my mind, I was like, she had only been more badass if she undressed and then looked at Taim, finished her statement, and then split. That's
No,
what
I think
want.
the IEL want her to be focused now on this. They
Yeah.
don't take anything less than that.
And Elayne is. I think.
Yeah,
I
she's
think
taking
she even
seriously.
said somewhere in there, like, "No, this is the one thing I said when
Mhm.
it's ready. Interrupt. Like this.
Yeah.
This takes priority." So
Gotta go. Yeah.
Yeah. So the different IEL wise women are doing, so I guess it's Mona Ella who takes charge, but then was it Vendry stands for Elayne's mother, since Elayne doesn't have one present. Tamela stands for Avienda, and then Amis will come forward to accept the pangs of birth.
It made me wonder who Avienda's actual mother is.
Okay.
Like, do we ever get that answer? Is there any type of a connection with anybody else?
Maybe.
who is your mama and what does she do?
Does it say? I mean, it might have said in the book somewhere. I mean, it might have mentioned what sept she's from, and like, I think her father was a clan
I'm sure
chief.
it does, and I just don't remember.
I mean, it would have been from a long time ago. She's Tardet IEO. She can't train. I'm just looking through to see if this says anything about her parents. I don't know. Good question. Using my trusty companion. There's a big entry. I'm not gonna read it all right now. I'll read it later, and if it's not spoiler, I'll get back to you on that. How about that?
It's like Avienda, mother of multiple children, birthed the Rand in the next 3 books, and
She time traveled with Tam and gave birth to herself.
or maybe she's Rand's mother. Oh, I'm kidding.
Oh, interesting.
Avienda is her own mother.
Interesting. So Marie Simmons talked about at WatCon that as being the assistant to Robert Jordan, she had to research what a baby feels during childbirth.
Very interesting.
Yeah, interesting.
I mean,
Probably
they
a lot
did
of
a
this.
Anyway,
you tight.
so what is the best you know of the other woman? Avienda is so confident, so proud. She doesn't care what anyone thinks she should do or be. She is who she wants to be.
They're very complimentary with this first question.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, so brave, so proud. She never
Yeah.
been the bravest person I know, the most confident person I ever know. And then are like, you will weep, you will lose your confidence. Like, I was like, are they casting a spell on it? They're clearly casting a spell.
Yeah.
That's super powerful. I'm like, what crazy evil mean stuff is about to happen here? I got worried for them for a minute, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, maybe initially I was hesitant, but as this goes on, I think this is. I called Alan after this before I finished the prologue, and this whole ceremony is, I mean, it's beautiful, and in some way, the strong, successful relationships have to go through this anyways. It's not as quick and over and done with as this is, but it could take years, but you go through this. Right?
Yeah.
You can only fake it, but for so long.
Yeah.
The truth's gonna come out.
Yeah.
Very true.
Yeah. They tell her, tells Elayne that courage is good, but one day it will leave you weeping in the dust and your spine turns to jelly. Yeah. And then the next question's asked.
Like, is some bad stuff gonna go down? Like, I really did fear for her. Anyway, next question.
The next question was, then they ask each other to find what's worst in each other.
And I guess what they're weaving prevents them from lying, like it forces their actual thoughts
out of their mouth. Oh yeah. Because you had a moment where Elayne was like, I could shape this way to avoid making her feel bad, to save face. And then out, it's like
it was blunt.
She thinks violence is the best way to solve problems, and she's so much like a boy with that, and she wants to stab people or something.
Yeah, violence is always the answer to her. Yeah. And then Avienda's like, Elayne knows that she knows she's beautiful. She knows he has a power from that and uses it.
She be showing
Which the wise ones to her, like, what? And you don't think you're not beautiful? like, come on, please. When you're naked in the tents walking around, you don't think that men are looking at you? You know it. You use it too. You're gonna use it. You'd be dumb not to.
Attention, all y'all players and pimps.
Mhm.
Right now,
The next question is ask the most childish thing in the other woman. Elayne
won't let
says,
me teach you how to
doesn't let him swim.
Yeah.
Hey, look, I understand.
Elayne gobbles her sweets with both
I got
hands
a
like
lot
a
of
child.
friends. I got a lot of friends that just will not let me teach them how to swim. Alan Hinton, 37, 8 years old, will not learn how to swim. I'm like, it's 3 feet, bro. You could stand. You're 6'4". It's 3
You'd be
feet.
all right.
You'd be all right.
I force my kids.
Well, you have to with the kids.
Yeah,
So
This man wears jeans to the pool, so nobody will get the crazy idea of pushing him in.
We started young. I mean, ever since my kids were like infants. Every time we went to the pool, they could. I mean, it wasn't like an aggressive dunk, but we'd put their head on the water every single time. Just
you blow in their
if
face,
you're in
they
the
hold
pool,
their breath, boom,
and you dunk them. And we do it 1 or 2 times every single time, no matter how much they didn't want to get their head underwater. Like, no, you're used to going underwater. Hold your breath, go. Hold your breath, go underwater. And now my oldest, he dives down and gets rings at the bottom, so he's actually getting there.
Yeah, it's not gonna work with so long with your daughter.
Yeah, she's tough.
Chris, I will say I've taught a bazillion people, mostly kids, to swim. Teaching adults to swim that don't know how to swim is extremely difficult.
Yeah,
there is some
I
deep
just want to get in the water.
reasons to not do
and
it.
Fear,
and fear,
yeah. It's easier to get kids to overcome fears than it is adults. You're so ingrained in that fear.
Yeah,
it's just like I don't want to. I live my entire life not doing it. I'm done.
Right. Or maybe there was one traumatic experience as a little kid where they almost drown, and they're like, nope, never again. And so they're like, water equals death. I'm not getting.
I guess that's why they're taking them so far backwards. And Elayne being a sweet junkie, like the word gobbles.
You gonna
that's
get
what got
fat.
me.
Yeah,
I laughed when she said gobbles, like not once in this
Vienna
book.
sausage fingers, just.
Yep.
I was gobbling some chocolates myself earlier, so like I could be with Elayne. We would have a good time eating chocolates.
If she keeps it up, she'll be as fat as a pig before she grows old. That's a quote from Evan.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
I've been around chuckling these titties.
So then that's the final question. What gives you the greatest jealousy in the other woman? And
she slept with my man.
Both of them had to do with Rand, right?
Rand, yep. Yeah. Elayne, Avian is laid in the arms of the man I love, and Elayne loves Rand al'Thor. My heart is dust for wanting to love him too.
Yeah.
Then,
well, not just that Elayne loves Rand. Aviana believes that Rand loves Elayne. Right. I think that was the stronger.
Yeah, that was the stronger point. There is Rand definitely has a greater affinity, but you know, it's supposed to be money over bitch, like MOB, like not supposed to put men over the money, over the actions, over the
Sure. Yeah. So then Avian is told to strike Elayne. Before
Avian knocked the shit out of Elayne. Like, you got knocked the fuck out. Like that's what we need. We need Friday.
At first, I was like, "Dang, Avienda, that's fucked up." But then when Elayne goes to do it, it seems like the weave is still very much in control. They don't have a choice but to rock the shit out of each other.
Yeah, she's like, I don't want to do this. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That one works too.
That kind of happened.
It's like slap.
That's what happens. Does that mean Chris Rock and Will Smith are
bro?
They're first brothers? Yes,
brothers. That's what I meant.
Yep.
Can you say that, Alan?
So
Chris said that. You're right.
Part of me thinks this is so beautiful, and I really love this whole ceremony. The other part of me is like, this is exactly the exact same format as Festivus for the rest of us. I mean, the airing of grievances and then the fits of strength. We're just beat the crap out of each other. It's Festivus. Come on, if you guys watch Seinfeld, that's what this is. They're just doing Festivus.
What came out first?
Good question. When was Heart Release versus Seinfeld? They were around the same time. That's
I think Festivus was early on in Seinfeld.
I think it was.
Festivus might have influenced
Robert
Yeah.
Jordan's writing. Like,
Why
that's a good
not?
idea. Like,
Yeah.
oh yeah. No. Winter's Heart was released in 2000. Festivus
Oh, yeah.
is like early 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely Seinfeld first. Yeah,
Well, we know that you got to get that information somewhere. So
there you go.
it's inspiration right there.
Yeah, so Festivus. So after the Festivus ceremony, what did you guys think about the slapping? Do you think that was too much, or
Slap at a base.
slapping the
I
base?
Slap at a base.
Concept of you've already done it now, so you don't have to do it again later.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely one of those things of forgiveness, and then forgive each other, and it's over. I mean, that's one thing that if you've ever done counseling or been around couples therapy or anything like that, they talk about forgiving and letting go and things like that, and then
That's why I smack my wife booty all the time. Like if I smack it now, then later, it's just I won't have the urge to. It's already happened.
that's already done.
Hey, the Festivus episode was December 18th of 97.
Yeah,
Yep.
3 years
He was
before. Mhm.
So it's not as early as I thought, but still before.
Still before. Was Robert Jordan a Seinfeld fan?
Right. All right, Google.
That's a
help us here.
Yeah. Anyway, so and then afterwards they lay there with each other, and their beats, like their heartbeats, start to merge together, and they really feel like they are siblings in the womb
So
together.
is this like the weave literally merging their soul to one?
It's kind of. I mean, it has that kind of feel.
It does.
I don't think it's necessary. So if you have a partner, try this. Sit down on the ground with your backs to each other in silence, and then just synchronize your breathing, slow breathing in and out. And well, depending on how your heart beats and if you can feel that, your breathing and your heart rate and everything will sync together.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is a great meditation experience with a partner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I heard that like women that spend time together just start sinking anyway, but that's a
They
whole
do.
other conversation.
Singing like doing dishes?
Sure.
No,
Is that what they do?
like cycling, like bicycle riding together.
They ride bikes together.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Interesting.
They start
I don't know that I've
shedding.
seen that.
They shed
Yeah.
together.
They shed together. Anyways, moving on to Tovane's point of view. Anything from all this?
I hate that you were fairly accurate in that statement, but still, it's a little cringy.
Yeah, a little bit. So anyway,
I've been listening to a lot of really interesting podcasts lately, and they're just very raw. I mean,
Yeah.
great content, Harvard PhDs, and not just there, but Cambridge, and just really great information on the body and the life and people, and like So
there's good value in having those conversations without all the euphemisms and whatnot, just the very direct. Yeah.
Anyway,
podcasts are ruining America, but whatever.
every time you
Probably this one too. Just
hey, we encourage you to read and drink.
Humans are too
Yeah.
slow.
That's balanced, right?
Pretty much. So, Tovane's point of view, we're back in the Black Tower. Yeah, she just has been, her world's been completely turned around at this point, where she thought she was going to go down here and steal a few men and hang them. She gets down there. There's 500 men down. They had no chance. I mean, we knew this as a reader, but I think Tovane's now like looking around like, we were screwed from the beginning. Like
She wakes up from a dream of strangling Elayne. That part.
I've had that dream.
Have you now? What else happened? Anyway,
Yeah, so
she definitely got set up, not purposefully, but at the end of the day, like Elayne didn't do great reconnaissance. She didn't believe the information that was fed to her. And rather than sending some trustworthy people in to really gather information first, she went balls in. Like, we're just going to open this up and call it a day.
With a couple of, with a handful of Aes Sedai.
with a handful of Aes Sedai.
I'm like,
well, I mean, because they were so arrogant in the White Tower, they did not believe. I mean, the reports were saying that there's hundreds of men. They're like, no, there's probably 30 of them most. Like they were just very arrogant, and like there's no way there's that many men that can channel them.
I still enjoy the Aes Sedai getting so much wrong now. Like it's
Yeah.
finally, and it's becoming obvious to them. We've seen it for a while, but they didn't know. Now they're figuring it out.
Yeah.
Man, this is great.
I mean,
So-
you literally have had the enemy infiltrate for Lord knows how long.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe from the onset.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
remember, most of them still don't believe there is Black Asha. They're like all in
I
denial
know,
about
and
it,
that's
except
the
for the
problem.
few that know right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
So that's just the tip of the iceberg. And then you have an entire group of some of your most powerful collected in the Black Tower. Not only are they collected, they're married to Logain, so like bonded to him.
Yeah.
So like you are going to do what I tell you. Is this compulsion or bonding? Like at first I was like maybe he was compelling, but
Yeah.
I think he like literally bonded with them.
Yeah, but
Okay.
remember also there's conversation between these women about it kind of wearing off some,
Yeah.
or like the hold is not as strong. So that doesn't necessarily mean that the hold will ever completely let go. Maybe just initially it's overwhelmingly strong, but
Mm-hmm.
it does seem like, at least with one of them as she's talking, the influence is waning some.
But is that because they were compelled and now it's waning, or because he's bonded so many people to him that his feelings aren't really expressing this?
Oh yeah,
You
it's
talking about
diluting.
Logain?
Diluting
Yeah.
it.
Well, Logain only has 2 right now, right? Or does he have more?
I could
thought
be.
it was just-
Yeah, they're not all bonded to Logain.
in my
Yeah.
mind, he bonds all of them.
Oh no,
So,
no, they're bonded
that's
to
what I
other
would
ones.
do.
Yeah.
I think
yeah.
they're
Have a
all
whole harem.
Mhm.
They'd
Yeah.
all share one room because I wouldn't want to give up no space.
I had that drink too.
Mm-hmm.
You could all stand in the corner.
It's actually more of a nightmare, honestly. I know that's like a thing for some folks, but
Never. I don't understand how you can have more
one's
than one
plenty.
woman. Yeah.
Two,
Yeah.
I'd be
that
like,
in the most.
I don't know. What do I do?
Yeah.
Maybe y'all
I
do
mean, that in the
something.
most
I don't
loving
know.
way. Chanel is a brilliant person. I couldn't handle more than one Chanel.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. So I mean, so you guys are still skeptical whether this is a bond?
yeah, I just don't see him forcing that on them, but I could be completely wrong.
He did
I mean,
apologize and give a little sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still
Sure.
leaning towards Bond, and maybe what these female Aes Sedai think is a compulsion that's waning, that's wearing off.
Sure.
It's probably the initial impact of the bond is overwhelming, and then it kind of settles in
Yeah.
to something more manageable.
Yeah, but they also can control what they're allowed to do. I mean, so the only task you can channel with is just to heat water and wash clothes. That's the only channeling that they can even manage to do right now. So I don't know if that's part of a shield or if that's part of the bot as well.
yeah, that sounds like they've been compelled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she also feels Logain has finished breakfast, so she's getting that whole emotion from him too. So there's double sided to that.
Maybe it's kind of like how the whatchamacallit, the wrist thing and the necklace thing and the
ID and the Soul of Vendames.
yeah, maybe it's similar to how that works. Like they're connected and they can feel each other through it, but there's definitely a master and a subordinate.
Yeah. Yep. And she is required to and has to run to meet him. She's bothered by some dogs in the process, but a woman pulls the dogs away. So yeah, they got dogs there. She thinks about how she prefers cats.
And first red flag. Here you go.
Lots of dogs.
You're not a cat fan? You don't miss Tigger?
You know the answer to that question. That cat. I will help any cat that gets pummeled by a car. I will bring it back to life. Yes.
Yeah.
After that, you're a cat. Go fend for yourself.
Yeah. Have fun.
Tigger wanted to fend for herself, anyways. To be fair, I've had many cats throughout my life, and 2 of them definitely were the coolest effing cats in the world. But the reality is, to me, they were cool cats because they acted like a dog.
And that's what I have.
Yeah, and
So
those kind of cats are awesome.
I'm not sure if they're stray cats, the local neighborhood cats. They figured out how to get into like crawl space in our house.
Oh, that
And-
sucks.
They had
Yeah, it
parties down there.
sucks. No, they have fights down there. So like every once in a while, in the middle of the
Orgies.
night, just start hearing like they're like like the crazy. It's coming from underneath the floorboards. You start stomping the floor, like shut up down there.
The kids are like, "They're all
I
monsters,
need a
they're
bridge
all
stick. Start hitting the bottom, like keep it down.
Trying to sleep.
These two, that one and the other one,
They go at
they
it.
definitely get into that every now and then. I'm like, you know what? Let them do it. Just let them do it.
They need to work that out.
Yep.
Yeah.
I treat them. I do treat them like I will my kids. I will say that out loud. Like I'll watch what's going down, and if it looks like it's just play that went awry, I'm like, nope, let them figure it out for themselves. If one of them is clearly taking advantage of a situation, then I step in like you were wrong.
Yeah.
That's
If one has the
messed up.
upper hand too, that's where you have to kind of step in. Like
Nope.
when like
Then
they're
that's
they're
how
kind of
you
like
learn.
pushing, play fighting, wrestling, then one grabs like a baseball bat. You're like, okay, that's enough. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I
time out.
guess.
Time out.
Alan, that one fight we were watching, I just remember the dude had like a green button down and he was definitely losing the fight. And we were just watching, but then the other guy, all of his friends went to jump in and it was about to be 10 guys jumping him. I think this was
Yeah.
at the original Tings location.
Yeah.
And at that point, like that's when I forget who else, your brother might have been there too, but we
I
all just kind
remember
of
that.
stepped in at the same time. Like, nope, this guy might be
One-on-one was
totally
cool.
wrong. 10 on
Yeah,
one.
but
I'm not going to stand here and watch that. I don't need
Yes,
somebody
that's
getting
not-
boot stomped tonight. I'm trying to enjoy my beer. Then the guy was like, he gets up, he's like, thank you. And I'm like, no, you might actually still be the asshole in this situation. I am not taking sides. I'm just saying 10 on 1 is fucked up.
Yeah.
So we're not friends. Fuck off.
We're not friends. I
You
don't
might
know
wanna
what's
go
happening.
home.
I don't know if I'm not on your side. I just don't want
I
to
just don't want you to ruin my beer.
Yeah.
Nope. Anyways.
Yeah. Bar
Which
fights,
is
so-
kind of how the what's her name, Tolvain treats the other
yeah.
woman that's under control of game because she's in there like
Gabrielle.
snogging with them. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Oh,
they're
yeah.
shagging.
Oh yeah.
Like
Mm-hmm.
just going at it. Now, this is how we kind of in my mind, I'm like, well, if it was a bond, all three of them would have been going at it, whether she wanted to or not.
She'd have felt
So
it.
maybe the bond. Well, did she feel it?
Mm-hmm.
I think a little bit, but not
Yeah.
a lot. So I'm like, maybe the bond works differently when a male does it, but
Yeah.
that I'm still iffy on what it is exactly that he's done.
Yeah,
But
what's the difference between male bondage and female bondage? And
I
yeah,
don't, did you go on a date with the girl that was into roping? I mean,
no,
you didn't ask the-
we just had conversations. I was never gonna cross that line, but I was curious.
you know what?
That's how
I
you
was
want.
curious.
Anyway, I don't know.
I went,
yeah,
oh no, tell me about
What?
it.
So also outside, so a group of the Queen's Guard passes by. I guess we saw that too. Led by Virgit, and Taim allows it. She hears Elayne mentions here's Elayne mentioned. Just these little snippets that we're getting from we're in this chapter we're getting
Get my acid ass name out of your mouth.
To be fair, that she did mention that all she can get are tidbits.
Mhm.
And that's just because she's picking it up as she's going along, and she's just committing it to memory.
Right.
And when she finally gets free, she'll have enough. And then you got Gabrielle or however you pronounce
Mhm.
it. She's being smart. She's like, if you just lay with him, you get a lot of information. Like
Yeah.
he's the only full Ashaman in the village.
Which she said, it took me 2 days to decide to surrender, and 4 more to convince him to let me do it. That's how it's said.
Yeah.
Seduction at its worst.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like there are
Yeah.
factions within the Ashaman that nobody really even understands is going on, which we could see since Rand literally was attacked by one of those factions. So
Right.
And we see that Logain's kind of an outcast too. Like everyone pretty much stays in like the main building, but Logain kind of stays off to the side.
Mhm.
What if Logain's the one that actually like takes out Taim and the other bad Ashaman? Because
I can see that.
a little bit. He's a hard read still, but he seems a little more devoted to Rand.
I saw it in the
Dragon.
smile. I saw it in the smile in book 1, and then again on the TV show. He is
Recognized
fully
him.
committed
Yep.
to Rand. He saw greatness and said, "You know what?
Mhm.
I'm gonna stick with you."
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was kind of an evil cackle laugh, but it still seemed
It
genuine.
was endearing.
right.
Yeah. So, what do you think about this? Also, this list that Talian's put together, deserter list. So you have Flynn, even Hopewell, and Narishma on the list
Yeah.
of deserters.
It's kind of like the Salem witch trial shit. We're just gonna put people on there that we want to get rid of because everybody's
Yeah.
okay with people on this list
I was
being
wondering
gotten
if you
rid of.
suspected that, or if you,
Yeah.
or if you actually think that.
Oh, Rand, you want a list of people to fuck up? I'll make a
Yeah,
list.
I'll make a list.
This guy, that
This
guy.
that guy. Yeah.
He looked. He
He
ate the last
farted in a
biscuit at
sweat tent
breakfast.
3
This
nights
guy.
ago.
Do you
Yeah.
think it's people he thinks are useless, or do you think that maybe it's people that are not fully committed? I mean, what do you think is his
Not fully
motivation is?
committed to him.
I
I think with Taim, it's all about
multi-level.
loyalty to him.
Yeah, yes. And then this list is people that are not committed to Rand, A, or B, who are like teetering on.
Well, these
being
people that's
self-destructive.
the three people he names are people that have spent a lot of time around Rand.
Yeah,
Oh.
I think it's a control thing.
Yeah, I think Narishma's isn't that who he
The
sent
older
to go
dude that Rand picked.
that ran pit. No, Narishma was the one who sent to go get Calendor for him. I think
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, it could be.
so. He
don't
actually
know.
trusts him more than some other ones. So yeah, and even the men are suspicious about this whole list, but they concede. Yeah, saying okay. At this point, Logain orders Tavain and Gabriel inside because they don't want to see.
So they don't have vasectomies. You said they can seed.
No, so they don't. She does not like seeing the trader's tree. I was saying, so they don't have to see. But yeah,
I thought you said
Vasectomy,
they
yeah.
concede.
oh, concede. Yeah, that too. I don't know. I've been drinking. So, and that's pretty much how we end this, right? Is there anything else we
Yeah.
missed?
No, we've got the. Don't we have one more point of view?
We got to go
We did
wash our
one.
tank.
No. Yeah. We have one more point of view. Definitely. I just want
Oh, yeah.
if we in the section. That's what I meant. Not
Yeah, that's it.
I don't know why it's taking this long for somebody to go. Why don't we fucking clean the tank? But anyways,
I want to know how he's gonna do it.
step one, I generally, if there's time, shower before. You know,
Yeah.
Oh, always.
right?
Yeah.
Although
Nothing otherwise. I'm
sometimes
very
a
particular.
little bit of salty sweat is kind of nice.
Yeah. Well,
You can always
this
make
is-
you sweat in the process. You know,
Yeah, true. So Rand's back in Carian. He's there discussing with Dobrain the attack on the palace.
cardio is cardio, right? It counts. Plug
What?
that shit in on your fitness app.
Oh yeah, it does.
Yeah.
He's talking with Dobrain about the attack. Many people thought that it's just Rand gone mad, and that's why the palace blew up and everything like that. The sea folk that I guess those the person that during the attack Rand pushed her into like the room and locked her in there went missing.
Yep.
Yeah, but Rand says that Catswain has them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Didn't he lock them in her room or something to that effect?
And then they get a little tour of all these new inventions that some are useless. I'm using quotes.
Yeah.
Pretty interesting.
For now,
Yeah.
The electricity. I thought that was pretty dope that they brought.
Yeah,
that
looks
in.
and the steam wagon, a steam engine.
Yeah,
you know,
the
and
steam engine seems really cool, but the electricity, I'm like, what?
the hang
ancient
glider
machine is
that
he
the person's gonna throw
find?
themselves off the hill.
and what was it that like came down and maybe it was a battery or something, but came down and touched it and zapped? Was it like
Yeah.
a squirrel or a rabbit or something or
Something
cat
like that.
or some
yeah.
animal that she said stumbled on it and got zapped?
Yeah, but he wants to form more of these academies. Of course, that has one going in Tyr, and also trying to get one in Ilion as well going, and wants to form these universities or academies to try to do more research. That
I love it.
A true tinker.
What'd you say?
I said a true tinker's heart.
Yeah.
But his purpose, he talks about how he knows one way or another the world's about to get effed up.
Mhm.
And just in case it's like just total destruction, as much that could be created in this short amount of time, like maybe there's a chance that something helps
Yeah.
the people that are left move on. Like he's trying to pass something on to it's
Sure.
I think it's good because it shows that there's like still hope that there will be something after all this is done in Rand.
Mhm.
Agreed.
It's not. He hasn't.
This
He
is
hasn't
the thing
succumbed
that he's
to. We're
holding
just
on
going to
to.
destroy everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah,
So
definitely. And then Min shows up from Harold Fell's rooms carrying a bunch of books.
How many men?
Mini men.
Many men
Mini men.
wish death upon me.
Yeah. Outside Rand weaves a gateway and they
Talking. Okay, see. Did
They-
you know
they-
50 Cent's going on his last tour?
sure.
The end of an era. He's actually
it-
been in Charlotte this week.
I didn't know
Y'all
that.
do get good concerts down there. That's
We
another
do. We
nice
had
place.
Beyonce. Did I tell you I saw Beyonce?
I saw
You
the
said
post, bro.
you mentioned that you were going. I don't know if you.
Yeah, I saw
Yeah.
Beyonce.
Okay.
She's just a thick in person.
I had one of my coworkers went and saw her, I think, at the DC show, and said it was terrifying as a man at that concert.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like
As
the women were gonna.
as a straight male, it was very terrifying. At that
Yes, that's what he said. He said he enjoyed it. It was fun, but he said like some of the women
Thoroughly
were just getting
enjoyed
so. They all thought they were Beyonce, and all the fans.
Bruh, I tell you, I saw more skin at that concert than I saw at the last pool I visited.
Mm.
From everybody.
Everybody. Anyways, so Rand weaves a gateway. They travel like 500 miles away or something like that, and you know, I
They
think
find their horses ready to go.
Mm-hmm. And she
He
tells
tells
him
me she reads too much.
yeah, tells him too much. And she says that she figured out he's laying false trails. And he's
Yeah.
intending to do something with these Saw Ungreal. They're so powerful. And
Yeah.
he replies, I intend to cleanse the male half of the source.
Gotta clean the tent.
You got to clean the taint.
I want to know what drives him to think that he can and where he has to go to do it and how he's going to accomplish it. Will we find this out by book 13? Who knows?
Well, let's talk about it. How do you think he could do it?
Alufa. I hear that the best for
Okay.
exfoliating.
Okay.
Maybe back at the Eye of the World. Maybe he's able to get back there,
Okay.
or
But it's-
something
There's
like
been
that.
foreshadowing to it. I'll give you that hint.
4 of them. I don't even remember one.
Does it have anything to do with like the city? What's that city?
That's all I'm saying. Is that there's foreshadowing. I'm not telling you where the foreshadowing is.
Shadow Logain.
Logain? Or has it anything to do with Mashin Shin? Or
Sure.
Maybe that might be who he has to defeat.
I mean, we have that one spot where the weave was undone and a lot of craziness happened, right? And
Yeah.
then the male source was different there, but we don't know how it was different.
Yeah.
Maybe there it was cleaned by the undoing
Okay.
in that one.
And they just
area.
didn't know what to do with a clean taint. They're so used to dirty
because
taint.
because it's so strong.
Ooh, shots fired from Zul. Allie from Wheel Takes figured it out.
Well,
What?
Allie is pretty fantastic. So obviously she would.
Allie does like in-depth analysis and she writes stuff like we don't
Yeah.
write stuff.
She
we
is
just
a writer.
talk.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that being said,
Do they stay mostly sober during their episodes?
I think
Yeah. I feel
like there's a lot I
They're
don't
not drinking.
remember.
They haven't been drinking recently. I think they're on a dry spell.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's a downside to getting heavy on the. You do a bottle and a half of wine in these episodes.
when we
that's
drink,
also
we
good.
have our best predictions.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
I'm sober.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just
absolutely
somebody has to
sober.
remind me of them the next episode.
Exactly.
Like, I said that. That sounds awesome. It's
I mean, I
great.
do like the idea of like Roydian, but that doesn't seem quite right.
I like the Martin Sheen thing. Like somehow there's a battle within the ways.
Ooh.
Or
we
maybe
missed-
a return to Manethera.
The Misty Mountains, Mountains of Mist.
Yeah.
Bum, 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 bum.
I mean, where did the tank
Bum,
started? Where was the breaking of the world? Where did the mist start? Where did the tank start again?
where did the world start to? It broke everywhere.
Where they poked it.
No, but I'm saying where
Like,
where
let's
was
just drill a
that
little- let's
battle
just-
where the breaking started?
I mean, that would have been.
Lose Theron's backyard. I think they
The
were at a
Blight.
barbecue.
I think that was about not doing the blight. I think it was. Was it up there? Yeah, I think that's where it all started. I can't remember.
Yeah.
I think so.
So maybe there's a battle in the Blight.
Blame Canada.
Yeah. So it's been alluded to, and we just completely missed it. At this point.
At the boar? Question mark. That's what. Yeah, that's
Right.
like where they first bored through. That was yeah, that would have been Shell Ghoul.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Rand. So there's a character floating around that Rand could follow there. This oversized fade. What's his name?
Shadowhan.
Yeah. What else does he go by? Isn't he just like, you can call me Sam or something?
The Hand of the Dark. I don't know. Yeah, and there's also the Watcher that's going around everywhere. But
Oh, that's what I'm thinking of. What was his name?
Morden.
I mean, we way back when had the impression that maybe the two big statues had something to do with clearing the tank.
That would take female assistance.
And he's gonna have female assistants. He's about to be married to two Ayo and a seer.
Yeah, but he's heading off to clean the tank without taking them. I mean, obviously there's gonna be a long journey to get this done. So maybe he comes.
Yeah, he's not on good talking terms with Elayne at all. But
yeah, neither one of them's truly happy with each other. They still love each other, but they're a little disgruntled right now.
Yeah.
Alan, what do you think? How's he going to do it, buddy?
How's he going to do it? So what he's going to do is first he has to build a DeLorean and get the flux capacitor. And
one of his guys are going to do this with the inventions. He'd be like, I built a flux capacitor, but I don't know what it's for.
And then they're going to put in the steam wagon, and then it's going to go 79 miles an hour. What is that? I can't remember the actual 80 what?
80 something.
80 something. And then they're going to go back to before the breaking. And then
I mean, that would work.
That would work, yeah. And that's how it's going to happen. And Great Scott.
You know what's ridiculous about the DeLorean needing to go 80 some miles an hour in order to time travel?
Yeah.
Is when it comes to time travel and tearing through space-time fabric, right? Like causing a rift, you would actually factor in the speed that you're traveling while on the planet Earth, while orbiting the sun, while our solar system rips through the galaxy, while our galaxy rips through the universe. That speed is phenomenal. So do you need to go 80 miles an hour, or do you need to just turn on the fucking flux capacitor?
So here's another fun fact. If you were able actually to stop time, you would actually be blind. Because the only way we see things is with light in there, and the photons would stop. And therefore, if you didn't see the photons didn't hit your eye anymore, you wouldn't see anything. You'd just be blind.
It's like when Captain Ron parks the boat perfectly, and the mom is like, I mean, that's really impressive with like no depth perception at all when you think about it.
But technically, if you could still interact and stop time, you could run through the photons and like get images as you're running, but as soon as you stop, you go blind again, which would be really trippy. Like the physics of it's pretty crazy.
That's great.
So it's just something to make your head just melt for the next couple hours as you
But
think
wait,
about
if God exists outside of time, does that mean he can't see us? No!
He's John Cena.
That's why he's giving up on us.
He's like, who? Oh, that's right. I gotta walk again. Sorry, I stopped. There you are.
There you are. Yeah. Anyway, fun times. So that's how we end the chapter. Yeah.
That's why the song is "And He Walks with Me." Because if he stopped, it was like, "And he stopped and took a break." Then he forgot we existed. And he was like, "Well, I guess I'll have to create something else because there's nothing here."
Yep.
That's why there's billions of universes.
Yeah, it's every time he takes a break. I gotta start over.
Yep. So, favorite character. Let's go there. Anything we missed? Anything we missed before we got a favorite character?
Oh, we probably missed a lot.
Okay, we probably did, but it's okay. We've
I have
hit the highlights.
I have a group of favorite characters, and it's kind of cheap because it's not really a character. It's the whole process of the First Sisters thing.
I agree
so
with
the wise ones as a whole and how they put this together. And I know this was something they went through, so it's been going on for generations and it's not unique to them, but that was just super cool.
It was just really cool.
Yeah.
For me, mine has got to be Min, because she's like reading Rand to a T at this point. And Rand's like, I'm not okay with this. Like, you read too much and you're knowing me too well. And she's just like, but that's my job. Like, she is fully committed to being Rand's other woman. Like, is she his first? Is she his third? I don't know. But she's fully committed to being there and being his lady. So
Okay.
Yeah. And not just for the lovey-dovey, like to go on mission with him to help him do
Mhm.
what he needs to do.
and it tripped me out. I'm kind of jumping on a tangent here, but like, it trips me out to watch the TV show and see the connection that Rand and Nynaeve had on the TV show, and to think about the first book and how they kind of were connected. And now she's not even in the conversation for being a wife. Like,
Oh yeah.
you know, the TV show alludes to her being a potential
Well, they planned it since childhood.
yeah, and like they allude to her being a potential Taviran and everything. So it's like, I still wonder what the level of connectivity is going to be as we continue in the next couple books with her, and where her story really is going to end up, because she's really getting separated from Rand in a big way.
Good
Yeah.
point, Zill. Only First Sisters go through this, not all wise women. Not all wise ones.
That's technically what I meant, but that
Yeah.
is a way more accurate of saying it. I butchered it. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
So who's your favorite?
men.
And then I took the First Sisters that led the ceremony.
Let's see. Mine's the random dark friend, Aes Sedai. You know, what's her name? Yeah. That's,
Tolvain. No, Tolvain.
no, not
No,
Tavain.
not Tolvain. She could be a dark friend too, though.
The other one.
Yes.
Um,
from the beginnings.
yeah,
The one
yeah.
that's being. I got you.
I just picked some random. Logain.
Celine.
I'll pick Logain. Taim.
Celine.
Taim's a good one, actually. But yes, so next time we'll be doing 3 chapters.
What?
1, 2, 3. Literally 1, 2, 3. And those chapter names are Leaving the Prophet.
I saw that and I was like, so
Parent chapter.
starting out with the parent chapter?
Mm-hmm. And then Taken.
Little Liam
And-
Nielsen.
Yeah, I was gonna
And-
say is
and-
Liam coming.
And then Customs.
Like, they have to go through customs, or there are certain customs that need to be followed.
I made it through the Canadian border with some Cuban cigars.
I feel like customs is gonna be definitely a Elayne, Elayne chapter.
Okay.
As far as the Taken is concerned, that's a hard one. I don't know who. Oh, Matt. That could be a Matt chapter.
Who was taken last book?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, that's why he's leaving the Prophet. It's about to go down. Wolf Boy knows his wife was taken. I still feel like it's a Matt
a
chapter
shadow.
because you just led me to that. So I'm still gonna say it's a Matt chapter just because, but it would be crazy if Perrin found out this early on in the book that his wife was taken by the bad guys. Because I feel like Perrin would full on wolf out, call all the wolf people, and like, I'll finally get what I want. Gnome will come back.
No, we'll come back.
Yes. And Loyal. We haven't seen Loyal in forever.
We haven't. Yeah.
He's off. He's gotten married, had kids.
Yeah,
Like,
he's
that's where they move fast. The Ogier move real slow. Everything else but having kids.
You know, it kind of throws you off with a name like his. You'd think he'd stick around more, but nowhere to be found.
Nope.
Went to get a gallon of milk and a pack of smokes and haven't seen him.
I forgot. Was he headed to the steading? Like I can't even remember at this point. I can't remember what was happening with him the last
He
time.
was. What he
Finally,
was?
he was finally getting excited about meeting up with his woman.
Yeah. Where'd he go? I'm trying to remember. Was he
I
with?
feel like maybe he went to a steading. But
Was
I
he
really,
with Matt and all of them, or was he down in Ecuador?
I seriously don't remember. Did anybody in the chat remember what
Yeah,
happened?
He
it
showed up.
It's
He
a while.
showed up with Perrin's group when they were
Yeah,
on their
okay.
way
So
to
Rance
England.
went loyal to close way gates. Thank you, Zool.
There it
That's
is.
right. Yeah. Okay.
He got trapped. He got captured.
You got
Loyal's gonna come back a beast. He needs to be
Mm.
fighting for the other side.
Okay. Interesting.
Too far away, too long away from the steading.
Well, how we can be found is at thewillreads.com. That's our website. It has links to all the cool stuff like merchandise and Discord and social media. Join us on X. On X, our Twitter X, formerly known as Twitter, formerly known as TweetDeck. So, yeah, join us there on all of our social medias. Join us on Discord. Go check out merchandise, like, subscribe, all the good stuff. Write reviews. I do love them, good and bad.
And we do read them.
Yeah, I did get we got another review, or at least another comment on one of our videos. Like, oh, you guys finally got mics. It's from episode, like, I can't remember what episode it was. But I was
Yeah,
like,
hey, we were just as excited.
we were.
World of difference.
Yeah. Once we learned actually how to record without using cell phones, it was a new thing. Then we tried a million different platforms that had technical issues too. So it took us a while. It took us many years to figure this out, and now we haven't had a knock on some wood, major technical glitch in a long time, because I don't have to remember to hit record now, because you don't see me unless I hit record. So.
Mm-hmm. And there's a strong correlation between when we stopped having technical glitches and then I started having like real life glitches. So maybe we should just go back to the shitty podcast and things get better.
Next week on cell phones, guys.
Cell phones. Let's see if it works.
Let's see if it works.
I might win the lottery and get married that week.
What the hell is this now? Anyways.
No kidding.
Yep. So that's all I got for this week, guys.
I take it. Until next time.
Peace.
Okay, bye. Time to go watch Ahsoka.